too loud, Jake.
Already?
I know.
I haven't even finished my second coffee yet.
Ooh, coffee.
Awesome. Ruler, Ghostly, what's up? Ruler, I was wondering, can you shoot a screenshot of where you are with excellent and enhance? I'm just curious. I don't know if you were at 31, or you can just type if you're above 31 or not. But we were talking about that earlier. If not, no worries. I can chat with you later about it. Miss Queen, Gwen, Oreo, Beef, Otto. Let's see, Otto.
I'm sorry.
Sarluna. Huh.
Hey, wonderful Sunday, everyone.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys.
Man, so tonight's the night, huh? New season starting?
Ooh. I can't wait.
I'm very excited.
I'm pretty excited. I'm a little curious about why no one in Lost Island wanted to be next to my alliance. There's 2 empty spaces on each side of us.
I'm absolutely not excited.
What?
Yeah, because I just saw we're joining wetlands.
Oh, you wanted to go to like Barren or Jungle?
I thought we were going to Barren, but if I would have known that we are going to wetlands, I would have put more effort of collecting honey.
This is my first time back to wetlands since the first one, so I'm kind of ready for it.
Nice. Someone from the art team made a real cool thing, just posted in chat. I think it was Webby, if I'm not mistaken, who created that.
Who did this? Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm still a very firm believer you got to alternate. Like, even if your team doesn't do it, you almost have to leave your team. You can't just go wetland after wetland after wetland. It's too taxing on the account.
Yeah, but everyone is just talking about wetlands and Barren. What about Lost Island or Jungle?
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I almost think the proper rotation would be like go to a wetland, and then it doesn't matter which of the other 3 you go to, but do those 2 times before coming back to a wetland. Because that to me seems like it's the most beneficial for an account. Honestly, if you can get Vast Jungle Red Camp, that is almost the ideal event to maintain and to have net gain of resources on the accounts.
Fast Jungle's trash.
Oh, there's advantages to it.
There's a blue camp guy.
Anyway, let's get rolling here, guys. It's time to start. I'd like to welcome everyone to stage today. We've got a couple things to go over that were recently released, some rumors that are going on. Also, if you are new to stage, make sure that you follow along in the live chat channel that's now open, so that way you can ask any questions you want. Feel free to hit the raise hand button at the bottom of your Discord screens, and we can bring you up if you have any questions or would like to join the discussion today. Also, we have a live ID channel. If you post your in-game ID over there, we can have the fairies send you a nice little gift for joining stage today. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and start with the topics that we have going on. First and foremost, a new update was released a few hours ago pertaining to some new content and bug fixes that are going to occur in the game. The new content that they're adding is in the special ant evolution function. They're increasing the level cap for Explorer Evolution and adding more floors that can be challenged. The promotion function is unlocked after corresponding special ant evolution skill reaches max level. So that's something to look forward to. I don't think it's going to affect very many players across the broader spectrum of the game, but some of those in older servers that have maxed out that evolution will be able to move forward. The adjustments that they are also doing in the pack shop, they're removing some of the packs. So we'll see what that's going to look like after they do the update. Also, they are optimizing the display logic for the Queen building to include bubble reminders. I don't think that's something I'm going to be using very much, but who knows? Another red dot, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So another red dot to clear. And then there are going to be some season optimizations. This one's pretty interesting. So Alliance R5 and officers can now dismiss Alliance members and troops from the camp fortresses. Was that always limited to just R5s before?
I think it was only in the towers they could dismiss them, not from the fortresses, but be mistaken.
I think R5s can dismiss from anything, but our officers could only dismiss from towers, right? If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've been an R5 or officer, so I'm a little rusty on that. But they're also optimizing text description in the tunnel introduction interface during the season. So those are the updates that are coming. A little bit surprised. There are rumors floating around with some hints that are being dropped around Facebook. So looks like we're going to have to at least wait for another update before finding out what these hints are. Bug, you want to go ahead and explain those a little bit? These rumors that have popped up, or maybe post a picture of the, what we're
Yeah,
seeing?
sure. So remember before the meteorite building, there was a lot of buzz. It was probably over like a month and a half long period. So we've got our first, little hint here recently. And it says, oh, it could be a new ant type. It could be this, it could be that. But really what I think is going on is there's probably, and just my speculation, totally my speculation, not official anything or whatever. I think they're just going to have a new meteorite building to cover season 2, 3, 4 ants, and those will be evolved to some extent. There's not much talk of evolution in the hint we have thus far, but there's still probably going to be 2 more hints before anything is released, which will probably be, like I said, at least a month from now. Trying to search for the picture, having a little trouble finding
you really
it.
think
But
it's in the meteorite?
I posted
You think it's in the meteorite?
what Mingos.
I think it's going to be
Okay.
something along those lines where an ant is going to be needed in a specific place, and that ant is going to be, let's say, red velvet or sly hunter or Saharan silver ant. it's going to be one of those ants that's going to be in a position where if you have that ant among other ants, you can collect some buff for all of your troop types.
I don't know. I think it might be more along the lines of either an introduction to a new season gameplay, season 5, and maybe have new season ants. And
like season 12?
And or no, like S5. So we have wetlands now, so it might be like an introduction to a new type of season. And then there might be specialized ants that are used in it, similar to the seasoned soldier ants.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's kind of where my mind was going.
T12, sorry, not S12.
Yeah. And then also, if not that, if you look in the treasure depot, there is expandable element in that. But if you look on the meteorite building, there's really no further expansion that we can see. So it's almost as if like maybe they might introduce something in that treasure depot. But of course, these are all just opinions and guesses here, guys. So
are we reading? Are we reading what Jake posted? Is that what you're reading? Reading into?
Yeah.
So you want to hear my hot take on this?
Go ahead.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you guys fight over colonies in season?
All the time.
Yep.
All the time. And you notice how a certain troop type always has level 10s and 11s and not taken.
Yes.
So they're not utilized. Here's what I think they may do. It's just speculation. This is just my educated guess. Is they may change the troop type in season to maybe a universal troop and have those nodes universal. So we're all hunting for the same thing, not going after guard, not going after, carrier, not going after shooter. We could just be going after a universal troop that we use in our marches as a universal. Combining everything together. That'd
be sweet.
That would be sweet.
That's how I read it, right? Because this will change everything. It literally says the first scout ant sent to observe the new troop report. It says this will change everything. So the origins of the new troop is familiar to us. The original units underwent unknown changes, lead to the creation of more powerful new troop. So it is a troop that goes into our march. It's not a special ant. It's not an insect. It's a troop in our march. So that could be a way to combat how we've been fighting against the infected. And the AI might start to be more prevalent. Maybe AI on server, like we talked about last week, where there's a fight for the tree, and maybe this troop type can be used against AI. Who knows? But it would be really cool to see if that's how I read into it. I just read between the lines and come up with a.
Yeah,
a lot of people are reading into it that they're going to introduce like a new troop type completely, like.
Yeah.
Instead of having shooters, carriers, and guardians, they're going to introduce another one. But I'm thinking that's the least likely.
You can't do that. You
not at
have
this
to
point in
rewrite
the game. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to how is everyone going to catch up? They're going to only release this new troop type special ant, and everyone else is going to be starving for copies of things that they've just recently bought. I don't think they do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
According to reliable sources, this new troop type possesses astonishing combat abilities that would completely reshape the Ants Kingdom battlefield dynamics. So, if you just read through this and read through it and look at read between the lines, it asks you a question: where do you think that these troops will show up? Where do you think they'll appear? I think they appear in season. I think it's a season. It's another change in season that's probably going to be for the benefit of all players. Especially those who are shooters or even carriers trying to buy and fight for larger nodes. And there's nodes that are not even being utilized. Like Guardian nodes aren't being utilized specifically on heavy shooter alliances. So
yeah, exactly. That's the key. Like it's each alliance is different. So I like your idea. I mean, I hope they do something like that, because then people can pretty much capture these nodes that could be whatever you select or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says they survive only under specific environmental conditions.
Right.
In which environmental ant kingdom will they environment of the ant kingdom will they appear? So I'm kind of sold on what you're saying.
Yeah, so exactly. That's the line that I read that say, okay, they only exist in a certain condition. Only season ants exist in season conditions. So that's kind of where I was leaning towards. So that's the one of the glaring hints there. But who knows?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when it comes to season, like I personally focus on my troop type in the beginning, right? Like I try to get the highest nodes of whatever my troop type is. But as you progress through the season, I'll wind up randomly grabbing whichever nodes I can or taking them from enemy teams because, you're constantly chasing for the honor spots, or you're constantly making sure that you can get to 40k honor. And if you can't get your main troop type, you're almost forced to grab other ants that are not going to benefit you much during the season, but just to get the honor. So something like that would definitely be beneficial to the game and gameplay, I think.
Well, I think it's funny that guys who chase honor don't always show up to the battles, and then the guys who show up to the battles don't have the high honor, which means they're lacking in the ants they require to have longevity in those battles. And it's like you scratch your head and you go, what are you really chasing here? Are we chasing a win, or are we just chasing personal gain? Right? Like it's a catch-22 in the game, because you want your account to do well, but you also have a team event that you're participating in. Where's the balance? Where I'm gonna log in as soon as reset happens, take all the nodes when they upgrade, and then not log in for 3 days.
Yeah, I've had this discussion numerous times over the various seasons that I've gone over with, and like we even as alliances, we have this discussion of once you hit 40k honor, start releasing nodes for other players so that they can hit it, right? Mm-hmm. And the argument I have typically had with this is, okay, but at the same token, if someone's very active and chasing after honor and they're always showing up to every fight and everything, they should have higher honor, because that little bit, even the little bit of extra fungi that they can recover faster or whatever
is worth it.
The overall team, versus forcing that player to release nodes just so another player that may only show up to the battle every now and then, what's the point of them, even if they are just over 40k, like this guy can hit 100k or 120k to get to those next levels. So it really is a debatable and questionable strategic choice that alliances really need to consider, and individual players, like what's more important for your top fighter that's at every single battle to have 120k honor, or for every player in general to have 40k honor? What's more important? You know what I'm saying?
Everyone having 40k honor is what's most important. The race to 40k for any alliance, it should be as quickly as possible for all players to reach 40k. Because even those I call them backbenchers, the players that are there to fill in for the big guys when they need to take a rest, right?
Yep.
They need to have the fungi to let the big guy recover. Like it's you can't just sit there and go, I'm going to hog it all, and then realize that everyone's logging off halfway through the battle because they don't have revival fungi, and you're sitting there scratching your head going, why is everyone going? It's like, like, don't be selfish. Spread the love, and I think this will solve a lot of that problem, because there's teams out there, like you literally can figure out who wins in the first 3 weeks of the game. You just look, and not even 3 weeks. It's like the first 15 days, I think it is. And you can see who's in the honor rankings and then you'll know who's winning battles just by simply looking at who's hit 40k and the majority of 40k players. As long as they're active, of course.
Yeah,
I agree. Windows match, but the stats don't lie.
Yeah, that is very, very, very true. But so we did have someone post a topic that they wanted us to cover on stage today. So thank you for that. I'm gonna cover this a little bit, and maybe a little bit more detail than what the question is actually asking. But the question basically was what special ant troops, according to task, how players should select those special ants. And they mentioned invasion, pangolin, the Atacama lizard, hunting bugs, probably frilled lizard, and such like that. So I guess I would answer this in a couple different manners, and please, guys on stage, feel free to interject with your own opinions. But for the most part, like invasion, tower fights, building fights, I'll go into AE a little bit later, but those are obviously your PvP lineups. So whatever troop type you have for PvP, which is going to be mostly ants that are a combination of offensive and defensive stat improvements. So without getting too specific, because this would be like covering not just the entire stage, but probably multiple stages if we had to go over this. Within an hour, there's no way to cover every single individual lineup and what's best and what's meta. But for the most part, those type of battle scenarios are going to use PvP troops. Now, when you go into pangolin, the couple lizards that are on server, those are going to be your PvE lineups. So, and that varies based on troop types, obviously, but for those, PvE are typically high damage dealing that don't worry about defense, because you're not really defending against anything. You're pretty much hitting Pango for, groundhog, Pango, the frilled lizard, stuff like that. Those are all going to be your PvE troop types. Hunting bugs, I was discussing with Bug earlier. So in the beginning stages of your game, hunting bugs, are going to be affected by like your stat improvements, and it's harder to hit higher level bugs. But once you're more developed in the game, you're going to wind up being able to pretty much kill the top bugs on the map with
just carrier T10s or T9s or
exactly. Well, with any type of T2s, T1s, because typically your insect levels and your special ant are powerful enough on their own to pretty much kill any bug that's on the map, right?
Especially in server, yeah.
Okay, yeah, especially in server. So personally, I have a lineup for. I have a preset that is strictly for hunting bugs. Okay, it's full of T10s currently, but it could be anything. But the reason they're full of T10s is because I utilize it for a couple different tasks. So I'm going to post the lineup that I have that's for hunting bugs. So as you'll see, not all of these special ants are quote unquote carrier types. Okay. But it doesn't really matter, because I'm able to kill those insects on server without even needing to have many or any troops in the thing, because you're able to kill them just with the insects and the special ants themselves. So I put carriers in there because they march faster, and so you can do an auto hunt and knock out 20 of these things in like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. So now you'll notice that I have 2 blue ants in my pro troop, and the reason for that is you actually gain more experience on the ants based on those. One of the skills that they offer is more EXP gain per hunt. So when I have a certain ant, which in this case is bison, I want to gain as much experience in the hopes that I get a copy so I can just, level it up as quickly as possible. So I have the ant that I want to gain most experience in there. After that, it's all ants that I want to gain experience in. So as you can see, some of them have stars, some of them do not, but those are basically the ants that I'm going to want to level up at some point once I get dupes. So that's why I have it set up that way. So that way, if I put in an 8-star ant in my hunting lineup, it's not very beneficial because you can't gain beyond max experience. So what's the point? At some point you're going to want to max theoretically speaking, you're going to want to max every single ant you possibly have. Okay. I know it's not currently possible, right? There's a lot of other factors like exotic shells and stuff like that are going to spores, exotic shells, honeydew. So you can't do all of them, but by hunting, you want to do it on troops that are on special ants that you're going to eventually level up, because there are other factors in the game that you need experience on, and better to get it free from hunting than it is to actually have to invest honeydew or kiwi into those ants. So, for your hunting lineup, it should be a little bit different than, your regular PvE and PvP lineups, because you have the factors of like the special, the underground mine, so having troops at higher levels and, more and more of that, is a way to do it. And then also, your special ant troop boost, eventually you're going to want to get, 12 and then 18 and whatever ants up to as many stars as possible, so you can progress through that faster, so you can get higher general buffs on the account. So that's kind of how I play it. How about you, Bug?
Yeah, I just throw in like T2s, even with like a superb spiny and a black fire and a shooter ant. Like my wise berserker I'm trying to level up, I can just throw T2s in there and hit 15 level insects, no problem. If I couldn't, I would be doing T9, T10 carrier to be able to do that if my insect level was lower. But ultimately, I just want that efficiency, getting the insects knocked out as fast as possible, switching on to the next task because there's so many for us to do. And when I'm on T2s, it's going twice as fast as my T10s. But I'll do like one row at a time, because I'm specifically looking to level up my wise berserker as fast as humanly possible. So that's why I'm using the superb spiny and the black fire with it, those blue ants that give it an additional like 30% experience boost, and leveling that up from like a 5-star to an 8-star as fast as possible. So I just got it to a 6 yesterday, and T2s do the trick. But when you get to season, you may have to, switch out T2s with T10s or season ants, because you can't just do that with like a level 21 hornet. You're going to need a lot of power for that.
Yeah.
Level 21.
20.
Sorry, 20.
He's on that. Are you on that S1?
He's on the new season already.
Don't tell
Testing
anyone.
out those 21 levels, but no, yeah, I agree. So hunting insects is a little bit different, but I did want to address that question. As far as the, part of the reason I'm saying, put carrier ants in your hunting lineup, because they march across the, map a lot faster. So if you're doing auto hunt, even if you've got a shooter or a guardian ant that you're leveling up, you get to a point where, like I said, the special ants themselves at level 50 or whatever, and the insects that you have are enough to kill most of the insects on the map. So you're better off just placing carriers so that you can get the task done quicker, in my opinion. I mean, I'm all about efficiency when it comes to these things. I mean, I even have a lineup set up where my pro unit is I set up the pro unit to be max efficiency for pangolin. Okay. So while I'm hitting the pangolin, with 1 minute rallies, I've got my other 3 troops running across the map with, T2s to hunt insects. So that way I can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone while I'm logged in. And then it just gives you more time to log off and do whatever else you have to do while still maintaining the ability to do all your daily tasks and whatnot. So, everyone plays the game a little bit differently. I personally am about getting as many of the daily tasks done as possible, as quickly as possible. So, I'm fortunate in the time zone I live in. Reset is, in the evening after work and stuff like that. So I log in, and usually within an hour I can get 90% of the daily stuff done, and have it so that I don't have to constantly log in the game except for, minor other tasks like collecting from the ladybug and stuff like that, and not have to worry too much about it. So, I don't know. Are you guys like that more or less? I know Otto likes ignoring a lot of the stuff. Can't be bothered with.
Yeah. All went over my head. Whatever you guys just talked about. No idea.
The frilled lizard is the one new addition to the game that's it makes me laugh a lot in my alliance, because there is no incentive outside of getting the 50. I think you get 27 chests if your alliance maxes out the thing, whether you participate or not, and then you get another 27 if you score X amount of points, right? So I have tested this out. If I can hit that lizard twice or 3 times, it will maximize the chests that could potentially get me an exotic shell, which is obviously the most sought after item from hitting the frilled lizard. So I will initiate 1 rally and then join 3 other rallies and be done with it. Log off and have a nice day. But there are a lot of people I see that try to chase after getting top scores in that, which, I hope that the game at some point gives some sort of incentive for people that want to sit there for 30 minutes and hit that thing. But for me, it's just another task to do to try to gain some rewards. And so hit those 4 and log off.
I wish the time selection for that event was a bit more open. Like, once you selected a later time, you have to skip a day to go back to an earlier time again.
You want to know what my opinion is, Sir Luna, on that thing?
Sure.
I think it's just a way that players that stay on server can maintain with players that are going to season after season and able to grab some of the stuff. Because if you look at the rewards that are given from that frilled lizard, it's almost identical to the stuff you can quote unquote buy in the season store.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's almost as if that is the solution for players that like to stay on the server, or get rewards that you would get from the season store while you're on the server. So because it's such there's no point to this thing. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It's not like Pango or Groundhog where hitting top scores gives you a little bit more rewards. It's like pretty much anyone in the alliance that logs in at the set time can, maximize the amount of chests that you get by hitting it, 2 or 3 times over the 30 minutes that it's running. So it's almost like a gimme of rewards that they're giving people that stay on the server.
A farm feeder.
One reason. I mean, yeah. I mean, and I agree. I mean, that's actually the most accurate description of it, in my opinion.
Yep, it's the farm feeder. That's all it is. If you have the time and the accounts set up, then just feed your farm.
I don't understand the point of it making you wait 5 minutes for the rally to launch. If the rally fills, let it launch.
Yeah.
To me, it's literally something that is designed just to give the rewards, so everyone can get the rewards as long as they participate. I mean, it's a way that they do this. So that's why I think they've done what Star Luna doesn't like, where it only gives you limited times that it can be initiated. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on that, but that's my.
Every alliance is different, though. I mean, some alliances are international, and one time slot really only benefits like a third of the alliance or 2/3 of the alliance, whereas like maybe another time slot benefits the remaining third of the alliance. So could depend on your alliance. If you're very spread out all over the globe, and having it at one time, you might be locked out of getting into it. Like, I personally have to block out my work calendar to do it, which is kind of seems excessive,
Yeah, like we switch our rainforest times to accommodate for everybody, but as Sarluna said, when you switch the frilled lizard, you can kind of get stuck and miss a day, so we don't switch the frilled lizard, and I guarantee there's a bunch of people that just can't make it because of the time.
Yep.
So another topic that was prior to last season, they made some changes where speed heals are returned to the account at a 50% rate of spent on the season. So when part of the refund package that they give you with 80% of the resources that you spent healing troops, they have now made it so that you're getting 50% of the speed heals you use. With that being said, a lot of players take advantage of War of Kings in order to farm speed heals, which is another one of those boring tasks, but kind of necessary evils if you enjoy the fighting aspect of this game. So that way you have enough speed heals to get you through a season at least. So there's a little bit of confusion on this from the community on how to properly do this as a server or as an alliance. In newer servers, I would say it's not as big of a problem because they're very heavily populated, and usually you have 3 or 4 alliances on there, and so you guys can feed off of each other. One alliance can take 2 squirters while the other alliance is hitting it. But in a lot of the more developed older servers, population tends to dwindle, and so usually what you see happen is an alliance pretty much dominates that entire server, and there are no other alliances there. So when farming speed heals during that, you almost have to, within the first couple weeks while you can jump in and out alliance, have some of the stronger players jump into their farm or whatnot so that the rest of the team can hit the squirters all day to do it. But someone posed a question to us about removing mutation in order to farm heal speed ups, and they felt that in their mind it was counterintuitive because both players dropping their mutations negates any changes. Well, technically it's not really supposed to be done that way. Usually, like, you're going to have a player that's assigned as the defender of the squirter, while the rest of the team is going to be hitting that player's troops that are in the squirter. And so the player that's going to be the defender in the squirter should maintain all of their mutations, right? They should be as strong as possible, while all the players that are hitting it should be as weak as possible. So they're the ones that need to drop the mutations. And there's twofold of a reason for that, though. Okay, number one, you want, even if that player is significantly stronger than the rest that are hitting the squirters, you want that player to be able to sit in those squirters for as long as possible. Okay, so when they're getting hit by 20, 30, 40 people that are farming these speed heals, you want them to be able to stay in the squirter as long as possible. But the other aspect of it is from the players that are hitting the player. If they drop their mutations, they actually wind up having to use a lot more speed heals per hit, which then when it's recompensated to them, they're able to get, more of a reward. And that's the other major factor in that, because like if you have all your mutations, I'll give you a prime example. If I have all my mutations on and I'm hitting the person holding the squirter with my max troop, okay? When my troops return, all 4 troops return, I'm going to wind up using about 5 days worth of speed ups in order to in order to heal. So that's basically 20 stamina that was used, 5 from each troop type, and I'm getting 5 days worth of speed heals that are being used in that series of hits. Whereas if I drop all my mutations and I hit that same player, it's going to utilize 8 or 9 days worth of speed heals. Okay, so now with that same 20 stamina, my reward when they send back the compensation is going to be much greater. So by the people that are hitting those in the squirters not having mutations, you actually will wind up net gaining more speed heals than you would if you kept your mutations on. It is a lot of work, as Otto said, but it just depends on. I mean, like, you want to get the task done as fast as possible and get as many speed heals as possible. So, like me personally, I pop in T10 unenhanced carriers and I drop mutations, drop insects, drop everything, so that every hit is giving me max spending of speed heals as possible. Like, who posted this? Bug Gaming, you posted that formation?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, me personally, I would not have 8-star insects in the lineup because I want them to get as dead as possible. Yeah. And I wouldn't have the insect in there as well, because again,
you will 2 things. One, it was just to highlight the meteorite evo that you can disable.
Yeah, that too.
So there's that. But the higher level insect you use, the more troops you get severely injured, which wind up in your healing pool.
That's
so
true.
There is an advantage to using a higher level insect, but you can take off your buddy and your helper, because those aren't going to help you get more injured troops. Those are going to help you get less injured troops that wind up back in your healing pool. I was just trying to show somebody that I was helping them farm speed ups, and I said, hey, you still have your meteorite evo on, just FYI, you can actually disable it. And they were like, well, how would you even do that? And it's just from the March troop screen at the top right where I circled it in green. You just click on that, uncheck it, and it'll take the meteorite evo off for an even bigger, severely injured ant gain to go into your pool to get you more speed up usage. And for me, I get like 2.5 times the speed ups that I use, even though the game says it's like 540% or 520% of what I use. It really ultimately comes back to like 2 to 2.5 times what I use. So if I'm using 5 days of speed ups, I'm getting back at least 10 to 12 and a half days in return.
he wants to hit a 100. Oh gosh, let me tell you something. 100,000 hours of speed ups would get me through probably 5 seasons without having to farm again. So that's an awesome amount of healing speed ups you've got there. I think I typically float around 25 to 30K, you know, and I only kind of farm them for a couple weeks because, as everyone is stating in the chat right now, it is such a boring thing to do, sit there and just launch units at squirters. But, you know, I think it's better than spending diamonds in the event, but whatever. To each their own.
Everybody's got a level, right? Like 30K, 60K. One of the reasons I went up to 60 or 70 was because you scared me, thinking, oh, they might take away the farming speed ups because they're giving us 50% back. So I was trying to bank a bunch just in case you were right on that, speculation that what if they take away farming because they're giving us 50% back. So I wanted to have a nice savings account of those speed ups there.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I did the same thing, right? Like the thing is, I think actually fighting your current team was the most speed heals I had ever used in a single event. Okay. I had something like maybe 25K speed heals going into that event, and I was blowing through diamonds by the end. So it was, wow. It was quite, that was the most. And prior to that, I think maybe 15 or 18K worth of speed heals was the most I'd ever spent. Okay. So like now in my mind, I have to have like 30K speed heals going into any event or else I feel like I'm naked, you know?
Right.
And that again is like, obviously a worst case. I mean, most events I would say I'm spending maybe like 7, 8, 10K, 12K, whatever. But part of that reasoning is some teams like to give up once they, face us, or the team I'm on currently. So yeah, I'm not spending as many speed heals as I would in a much more intense event. But if we ever line up against teams that really want to bring the battle forward, then there's quite a good possibility that you could blow through on the 20 or 30K. What do you know your average, Jake or Bug, on how many hours?
I like to go into season with 30. Right now I have 29, I think.
Okay. But do you know how
between 15 and 20? Probably 20 was my most. 22 maybe.
Okay.
So I feel safe with 30 or 70.
How about you, Jake?
The most that I've spent in a season has not been that many at all. Like I've probably only spent 15,000 in a season.
I mean, I would think that 10 or 15 is normal, right? Like that, I think for like, me and Bug are definitely battle intense players wanting to log in for every single fight that there possibly is. So, it's automatically going to be a little bit more. And especially if you're buying fungi or season stamina, because then obviously you're fighting longer, so you're spending more healing speed ups or whatever. So
definitely. Yep.
Oreo.
And I was quite shocked to see, I was recently looking at the season reviews and just how considerably less kills there were on the first events and stuff, obviously because everybody has less ants and everything like that. You can't acquire as much honor in the same time because you have weaker stats. So that definitely plays a part too. Like a lot of those earlier seasons, we weren't spending any speed ups really to heal ants because we didn't have a lot of ants to heal.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even.
Yeah, I was looking at. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't really consider that, but he's right.
Like I've only been going up in the amount of speed ups I've spent, and the seasons really don't feel like we're fighting more, but I guess just each fight we're using more ants and we have more to spend.
Yeah, you'll go through more kill. Like you'll watch the top kill list, top kills chart go up and up and up and up. Like my first season event, the biggest whale got like 1 point something G kills, right? And that was like, you know, number one, right? Now this season it was like 14 G kills. So from 10 seasons later, 12 seasons later, however many it's been, there's a lot more potential to have more dead ants and have more ants because you're hitting like 12 nodes instead of just 11s or 10s. Or
I mean, this is where also matchmaking plays a major factor in it, right? Like, you know, as I said, that I've been on events where teams have like pretty much given up from the moment they see a certain team on their event, right? And then there's been events that, like, you know, teams are like, hell or high water, we're fighting this out. And so, like, if it's a much more battle intensive event, which I feel happens more often when the matchmaking's on point, where you have teams that are, you know, equal, you know, in each camp, then you're going to see much more battle intense, and of course, speed heals and other factors.
mm-hmm.
How do you guys like your current matchups? You know, we're going to start tomorrow, like you said.
Man, mine is wild. Like I posted it in the chat. Nobody wants to be next to us. There's no alliance that wanted to be our neighbor. Like we have cooties or something. I don't know. But I'm not disappointed with it at all. Like I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting. It'll be Lost Island, which I haven't done in forever. So I'm looking forward to just jumping on when I have free time. And, you know, versus all the other seasons I've been in for so many like months and years now.
Oh, you're gonna be a happy camper. You like to chase honor, and I think you get rewards for honor in this one.
Oh, nice. Even better.
I think Lost Island, there is a reward factor for honor, highest honors.
Love it. Love it. I mean, I chase honor, but I also want it for the ants, you know. But we have 2 free zones next to us to take up fortresses to build, you know, or to acquire more ants faster. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting.
Remember, guys, if you haven't done so already, we do have the live ID channel open. So make sure you post your IDs in there, and we can make sure that the fairies give you guys a nice little reward. I just posted it in the chat. But yeah, how about you, Jake? How's yours?
I'm very excited for it. We're going to Barren Lands, and it looks like a very even matchup as far as I can tell. We're facing 2 alliances that I've never seen before. So I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. It should be fun.
Those are the best ones. If you, especially with the unknown teams out there that, you know, they may surprise you, and, you know, especially if their strength looks the same or similar to your guys' camp. I think those are the funnest seasons I've ever had, are when it's like pretty close matchups and you don't know which way it'll fall.
Yeah, and especially just getting to meet a whole 3 alliances that we've never faced before, and you know, it should be fun.
For anyone, nice. Oh, Charmaine wants. How many wetlands have you gone to, Charmaine?
Too many that I'm still dead from the last time, even I made a break. I think it's it will be my 3rd or my 4th, to be honest. I don't know anymore, but
you've gone back-to-back wetlands
then? 2 times in a row, and then 1 round barren, and then this time wetlands. So yeah, 3rd time. And I'm out of honey, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're fighting right from the beginning, so it's very honey intense spending. Crazy. Also,
I would
the other,
like to
the other
experience
factor,
Lost Island again after a while. Because I don't hear any stories about Lost Island. I don't even know what is happening there, if anything happens there.
I mean,
Still going on.
They changed the teleport. I almost want that shared camp area to be free teleports in wetlands, because that's the other factor. Like, I blow through so many teleports in wetlands compared to vast jungle. You know, but that's why I like vast jungle red camp. Like, pretty much every area that you port in is free ports, because you're just constantly defending, and you have free port in the free area and your clash area and the free clash area. And the only time that they charge you for ports is when you're going into the your campmates territory, which is not as often, I guess. And then also the advantage zones or whatever. But I seem to think that, like, vast jungle red camp, if you definitely have the ability to net gain ports versus the other events where are very port intensive. Even though Otto doesn't like vast jungle.
To be honest, I don't pay attention to the ports I'm using. I'm just porting.
Yeah. Well, I don't
We're
pay
going
attention.
to wetlands, and I don't like that event either.
I don't pay attention until it says it's going to cost you 2,000 diamonds to move.
Yeah, right.
Oh God.
It tells me that like the first week.
That's tough though. When you start to get that message, and you're not facing the other alliances yet, you're still just facing the infected, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
This is gonna get
be an expensive island. 30 days to go. Yeah.
I remember. Listen, I can't tell you how many credits I have. It's in the millions in that credit store because I've never really bought anything out of the credit store. And then, like, after the first wetlands, I'm like, oh man, look at all these ports. So now it's automatically, as soon as credit store opens, I buy those 7 teleports that are in that store now. It's like the only thing I get out of that store.
Oh, same. You have to.
Yeah. But I wish I had done that from the beginning of my playing of this game. So any of you out there, sit in squirters, gain as many things on KE day like today, those credits, and make sure you're buying teleports, because as you progress in the game, you're going to definitely be spending ports on season.
You know what's helping me get teleporters? It's a small amount, but every bit helps, is that new Ladybug store thing. I never really bought teleporters before, but now I can make it automatic, and it just does it for you. I've watched my teleporter reserves go up, so that's cool.
I have it set to grab those teleports. Anyone that's discounted.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
To auto purchase on that.
Yep. That was a cool little feature.
You know what I really wish you could do with that auto ladybug thing is set it to where you can purchase items with like meat or wet soil or water automatically.
I had that same discussion when it came out. I actually sent that as a suggestion to change it so that way you can set the item that is spent on it, because like with those speed heals, I would with like the hatching speeds or even the construction speeds or evolution speeds, I would want to get any amount that uses resources, but not necessarily anyone that uses diamonds, because like construction speed heals I don't need at all, right? But they're worth it to grab if you're spending soil for it, right?
Yeah.
So I wish that they made that change. That would like select what type of spending goes towards it. Then I would have it. Then I'd be able to set it to auto do it on the second round as well. Because now I have it set to do the first round. And then I go in and look and see what it didn't grab, and then I grab what I need, and then I do the free turn, and I go through and grab everything manually.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
That's kind of been my workaround on it. But again, it would be much simpler if they had it set to that you could set it to what it spends to grab those items.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Does anyone from the stage want to say something before we're coming up to almost an hour? I wonder if anyone from the audience.
I just want to know what's up with the ducks.
Yeah, why all the ducks?
I mean, they came out with that pay-to-win duck skin, and then now from the last event, they came out with that duck nest. So I'm almost thinking...
What the duck?
Yeah. I'm almost thinking my former alliance had something to do with that, because those guys are known to be quacking around all over the place. So,
bunch of quacks.
Yeah, they wanted some duck action going.
That's our uniform for the next season.
Maybe we're gonna have a collaboration with Aflac, the insurance company.
There you go. Whack, whack.
Whack, whack.
You better make sure we got a release that we could use their name.
Oh yeah, that's just a speculation, by the way.
Whack, whack.
Disclaimer.
But we do want to thank everyone for joining us today on stage and listening to us. Remember, we do have a channel where we will post this current stage, and you guys can listen in on it. Also, we are starting this extension of stage coffee table. It's just basically a roundtable discussion where we're going to talk about all subjects, whether it's ants related or even outside of ants. But we're planning on doing that every Wednesday, I believe. So stay tuned. We'll send out an announcement if you happen to be on Discord and want to join us and just chit chat. And it's not going to be very, how should we put it, as structured as stage. It's more so for the community to get together and discuss topics that they want to discuss. It doesn't even necessarily have to be ants related. We're just players that enjoy each other's company. You can listen in if you want, or hop up and discuss whatever topics we're going over. But I think we have the next one.
It's not recorded either.
Yeah,
it's not recorded either. So if you feel like, oh, I don't want to jump up and be recorded, you don't have to worry about that. We're not recording anything. It's just hanging out. Going to be next one Wednesday, 22 UTC. So feel free to come just hang out and chat as on stage like we're chatting now. And it was a good time last week. Ghostly was there. Yuna, I think. Looking for all the other names. I can't find them at the moment, but we had a good chat. It was a lot of fun.
Yuna's gonna hide. I'm gonna hunt her down. I didn't get to chat with her. It's been a hot minute since I've been in a voice chat with Yuna, so yeah, I'll be there this Wednesday, Yuna. So maybe we get you to sing for us.
Yuna sings?
Oh yes, you should hear Yuna's singing voice. She's very good.
No way, that's awesome.
Oh yes. So yeah, You're still a young one, Bug, when it comes to the stage. But yeah, we actually got her singing, I think, 1 or 2 different stages, if I remember correctly, in the past. So maybe we'll get her to sing for us on Wednesday.
I would love that.
No pressure. But thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you potentially Wednesday, but if not, next week. And remember, if you guys have any questions or anything, post it in the Stage Topic channel, and we'll do our best to answer it on the very next stage. But other than that, you guys have anything else?
No, I mean, I'm happy to stick around if anyone has anything else, but that's all for me. I hope everyone has a great season coming up at Reset, and happy gaming.
Yeah, don't forget to put your live ID in the live ID channel, and have a good weekend. And hopefully you guys have good luck when you teleport to the season tomorrow.
I would just like to say, don't forget to tip your dealer. He's doing the Lord's work, and you got to make sure that you got to tip your dealer.
Especially if you hit blackjack.
Especially if you hit blackjack.
Good times.
And like Charmaine said, if you're interested, apply to any of the teams. We're all recruiting, I believe, but especially the stage team, since you're at the stage now.
Whatever you're interested, I mean, there's so many departments of staff. Like there's art. Webby's got some awesome art that I posted earlier. There's stage, there's video, there's PR, there's mods. So many different ways you can be a little bit more involved if you want to be more entrenched in the community. That all you have to do is find, I think there's some channel recruitment of some sort. Maybe somebody can post a link, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's fun to be more a part of the community, aside from just logging in and doing your dailies and whatnot. And anyone can do it. You might think like, oh, I don't know, just if you have a few extra hours in a week or a couple extra hours in a week, you can do it,
It's not hard. The first step is always the hardest step. Just trying something new for people is probably the hardest thing.
Yeah. And then I think they're still looking for like love stories for the summer. If you know anybody who met somebody on Ants, shoot that over to what's the Insight?
Spotlight?
No. Spotlight. Yeah. Spotlight's looking for stories like that. But if anyone else has anything, you're more than welcome to ask a question. I mean, we can go a little over and just hang out. I'm okay to hang out, or we can just wrap it up either way.
It's too bad we weren't in season. We could screen share. That's always fun to talk about.
Yeah. Next week.
Yep. Next week, Soul will be battling and conducting stage. That's just how he does.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be the email's not valid. Yeah, he'll be multitasking.
Yeah. We'll all be multitasking when season starts, and I'm trying to juggle I don't know how many things at a time. But yeah, I love being on stage, being a part of the community, and whether it's video team, stage team, PR team, mod team, everybody can be a part of it if they want. All they have to do is apply.
I'd like to form a new team. It's called Team Otto, and it's just it's a team where we just all big up this guy named Otto and make feel good. And no, I don't need that. No, the channel's actually to big you guys up because you're all superstars.
Otto is the man. How do I apply
You
to
are-
this?
Yeah. Just send me DMs, bro. I'm hunting for DMs.
Okay. Yeah, we
I'm
got to
a
get
DM
together
hunter.
too. We'll talk about different
stuff.
ways we might be able to stream the stage or something.
Yeah, man.
You probably can educate me a little bit on that. I mean, I have some ideas, but that would be cool too to have it live as well as recorded.
Yep.
I think that might be something in our future.
So, best results is you need either do it from 2 different devices, because what you need is a stream. You need a stream. Basically, streaming. If you try to stream it and try to use your computer at the same time, I guarantee you're going to have problems. So you're going to need a dedicated stream machine, and if you got to listen or talk on your phone while you're operating stage, that's got to be the dynamic that you have. You can't touch your computer, because the moment you change a channel or you go to move out of the stage channel to another channel, you lose audio. Like, there's a whole host of problems. So I can give you all those tips and advice. I can give everyone those tips and advice. It's trial and error, learned. Volumes are an important thing too. I think we talked about that last time.
Mm-hmm.
Sound levels are important, so everyone can be heard.
It's funny, people have questions in chat. Do I have a love story? I do have a love story, somewhat, but I don't know. It's incomplete, so it doesn't really qualify, I think.
He's
I
looking
didn't
for
get
the
married.
right
It's in
ending
progress.
still.
Yeah, I didn't get married and have kids, so like I know some people who have moved across the globe and have kids and are married now. So if I had a
That's
story like that.
crazy.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Bug, is you're still single.
Yes, I'm single currently.
There's
Yeah.
still a chance. You mean there's still a chance?
There's still a chance. So
You have a bad love story, not a good love story.
correct.
So on this episode of Dark Tales from Ant's Kingdom, please elaborate.
So I don't know if I have permission to do that.
Okay, then don't. No, make sure you
Maybe
get
that's a
permission
coffee stage topic.
first, right?
Yeah, coffee stage, not recorded. There we go.
Don't have. If you see Autobot in there, my Autobot, if you see it in there, it's being recorded.
Well,
He sneaks in
all right.
sometimes.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Anybody else from the stage? You got questions? You're more than welcome to jump on up. Going once, going twice. Ghostly, I know you like to talk. You're once you start talking, everybody starts talking.
Ernie.
Oh, he's at work. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's all I've got. Anybody else have anything?
That is all I have as well.
Cool, guys. Well, thanks so much for being with us today. Hope you got your live ID thing in there to get a hookup from the ferry, and we look forward to seeing you next week, or maybe even on Wednesday at our open mic coffee table situation, unrecorded, at 22 UTC.
Could you emphasize the non-recorded?
Non-recorded.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. I got it. Checkmate.
That's the point of it. Non-recorded, just super chill.
So what happens in the coffee time stays in the coffee time?
Exactly. Just like Vegas.
Yeah. Oh. Beautiful.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
I can't shut this stage down, so.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why there's
so-
2 admins here. So hopefully the admins can do it. Because
Yeah,
Otto
Charmaine-
doesn't have his powers. He doesn't even have his name. It just says Otto. I'm just freeloading here on
I will
stage.
enter. So thanks you all. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.